34-20. Home team. Small town. Welcome into tonight's game between the Harriman Blue Devils and the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by the coach, James Gibson. This is your OEB Law Game of the Week on Channel 12, BBB TV. Brought to you by OEB Law. Turn your rec into a check and go to recintoacheck.com to see how OEB Law can help you. So, once again, my man, Coach James Gibson, joins me. Coach, how excited are you for tonight's game?
Extremely, Aaron. This should be one of the better games in the area. Harriman is trying to snap a 4-game losing streak against a tough, well-coached Coalfield team. So I'm excited. I think we got a good one here tonight.
I do too. So we will break down some teams in the area and more. But first, let's go ahead and catch a break. This is your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Football is back, and OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
I am a simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a simplicity dealer.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Welcome back into your OEB Law Game of the Week. We are at Rochelle Field on the campus of Coalfield High School, where tonight the Harriman Blue Devils have joined in. And look across the way there. You see Commissioner look at that. That's our guy, Randy Ellis. Randy Ellis is sponsoring tonight's game. We want to thank him for that, and he's a Roane County Commission chairperson, in fact. And he says, "Go Blue Devils." Randy is a graduate of Harriman High School and supports the Blue Devils. Randy's proud to serve the 2nd District of Roane County and wants to make Roane County a better place for us all. I don't know if you know who Randy Ellis is, but there's his face up on the screen. You can see him right in the middle of your screen, and he's scratching his ear. He's getting ready for this one. He's pretty excited. He wants to see the Blue Devils break that 4-game losing streak that you were talking about. And he's sitting next to a Rockwood fan. Rockwood able to play last night so that they could come up to Morgan County and enjoy a Roane County show. Roane County versus Morgan County anyway. So, all right, we are 2 weeks into this high school football season. So let's take a look at regions in our area. And it's kind of wonky because some teams haven't played because of COVID-19. Some have played, but not all their games. It's interesting. Let's start off looking at this Region 2 Single A standings. You see on your screen, Oakdale is 2-0. That is a major accomplishment for Coach J.R. Voiles and the Eagles of Oakdale. And we're all excited to see Oakdale do well because sometimes they don't have great numbers, and so you never know if they're going to even be able to have enough guys to show up and play the game.
Yeah, you're talking about a program that usually has 12 to 14 players, and that's very hard to do. And for them setting at 2-0 in the region is really impressive. So let's see what they do tonight versus Midway.
So you see on there as well, Coalfield 1-0. Coalfield didn't play last week because they canceled the game with Stone Memorial because of COVID concerns. And you see Sunbright 1-0. Sunbright didn't get to play last week either. They are on a 2-week quarantine because of COVID-19. So, and Greenback starting out 0-2. Same thing they did last year as well. Not too surprising based on their competition. And then Midway sitting at 0-1 and Oz at 0-2. How about that?
That's a little strange for Oliver Springs, but they are working on it.
And Oz is actually 0-3, right, because they played last night and got beat by Rockwood. And we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. So, all right, you're looking at your Region 2 Single A standings. Meigs County 2-0, no surprise there at all. Cumberland Gap at 1-1. Oneida at 1-0. Rockwood is at 1-1 overall, and Wartburg at 0-2. None of these teams have played a region matchup just yet. Your 3A standings, Alcoa, of course, 2-0. Scott High off to a really good start. They're 2-0. Kingston, another one of those teams that got the season started off. We were at that game. They defeated Harriman, and then we're on a COVID break. So Pigeon Forge started out 1-0. Austin East is 0-2 so far. GP and Northview Academy sitting at 1-1. The only region game is Alcoa versus Austin East, and Alcoa, of course, won that game. So 4A standings, Region 2, East Hamilton sitting at 2-0, Howard at 1-1, AC is 1-1. They had that classic matchup against Powell. It went down to the wire. East Ridge 1-1, and then Sequoia, Chattanooga Central, and Hickson all looking for their first victory of the season. Now these 5A standings, Powell is 2-0, and Powell has probably had the toughest schedule so far that we've seen out of all these teams. They played AC and they've played Beach. And so having to make up some games because of COVID-19, Powell got the opportunity to play Beach, which some may recognize as former Vol Jalen Hurd's alma mater. So Beach, a pretty decent football school out west. Powell able to get the victory there. late in that game. We played AC, got the victory late in that game. So Powell is battle tested, and that's one thing you can say about them. West is starting out 2-0. Campbell County and Oak Ridge at 1-1. Clinton, Carnes, and Fulton starting out the season without a win. So what are some of your observations from this season so far in our viewing area?
Well, I'll tell you, Knoxville West has impressed me with the 30-7 victory they had over Farragut. I did not expect that. Coach Courtney usually always brings a very talented squad year in, year out at Farragut. So that was a little eye-opening to me. That tells me how good Knoxville West really is. Powell with a big victory over Anderson County, a big late victory, 31-29. That was a big game. But I'm more excited about the game we have here tonight with Harriman and Coalfield. So I think we're going to have a good one here.
And I think it will be a good one as well. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and take another break. And when we get back, we'll have more of your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job. I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Rinnai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Rinnai, hot water for all.
Hi, I'm Ray Vaughn.
Welcome back into the OEB Law Game of the Week. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by the coach, James Gibson. And this is the OEB Law Game of the Week. We'd like to thank OEB for being on board with us again this year through charity, school, team, and event sponsorships, including the Shrine Circus, Rivalry Thursday, Ice Bears, Monster Jam, the Harlem Globetrotters, and WWE Spotlight Kids County Fairs, etc. OEB Law is doing things such as turkey drops and support for remote area medical, CARM, the Kidney Foundation, Ronald McDonald House, local schools, as well as supporting the arts and music, as well as presenting a $1,000 check to each of these schools that we go to. So we thank OEB Law for everything that they do for our community, and also to allow us to get on the air and broadcast to get some of these kids some highlights, so that they can always go back and they can watch these things. Because you know what? I didn't have that when I was in high school.
I didn't either, and it's huge. It's a big opportunity to be able to watch yourself and potentially watch some of your opponents.
Yeah, that's another part of it. Yeah, you get to it's a whole new way to scout. So, all right, so a surprise last night. Rockwood took out Oliver Springs, and I would say that they took Oliver Springs not to school, but maybe to Ivy League school on Rivalry Thursday last night. So I want to know, what's the deal here? It's because in week 1, Oliver Springs was within a score of Oneida in a defensive showdown, and last week Rockwood struggled with about every facet of the game in a loss to Sweetwater. So did John Webb's team come alive and take out some anger last night, you think?
Yeah, you betcha. Rockwood responded in a major way last night after a sluggish start to the season against Sweetwater. Jaden Hannibal, let me say it again, Jaden Hannibal for Rockwood went off. He scored 4 touchdowns against Oliver Springs, led them to a 35-8 victory. I don't think you can respond better than that.
No, and we know how talented of a player that he is. We got some other games in the area that we would like to look at for tonight to let you know what's going on, and some pretty good games tonight. What do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got Harriman at Coalfield, obviously, Anderson County at Hickson, Austin East at Kingston. That'll be a big game. Campbell County at Oak Ridge, Midway at Oakdale. That'll be a big game. Wartburg Central at Oneida, and obviously last night, Rivalry Thursday, Rockwood 35, Oliver Springs 8, and Sunbright is off due to COVID-19.
Anderson County at Hickson. You're familiar with Hickson a little bit, aren't you?
Yeah, very much. It's a good program down there near the Chattanooga area, and I think they've been down for a couple years, but I think the coach is definitely trying to turn that around.
So what was your role with that Hickson program?
That was actually Hickman County High School.
Oh, Hickman County.
Yeah, I was assistant football coach there, but had several connections at Hickson High School down in Chattanooga.
Okay, so at Hickman, I don't know why I got those confused, but you know Hickson anyway.
Yes, I recruited it heavily.
So anyway, a lot of good football across the area tonight, and we'll try to get you some scores as they come in and update you on that as well. But right now, let's take another break, and then when we get back, we will preview tonight's matchup between Harriman at Coalfield at Rochelle Field on your OEB Law Game of the Week.
I am a simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a simplicity dealer.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
Don't dig blind. Buried utilities are everywhere. Always contact 811 before you dig to have your utilities marked.
And it's blocked. So it's no good. Guzman's kick.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
I am a simplicity dealer. This business is my life.
OEB Law Game of the Week. I am Aaron Harvey, joined with James Gibson. OEB is an East Tennessee law firm with a national practice. OEB is led by Timothy G. Elrod. Tim Elrod is from and still calls Anderson County his home. OEB is practiced in state, federal, and city courts, and at OEB they treat their clients like family and are proud to have earned a reputation as East Tennessee's premier personal injury law office. That's why they've been voted Best of Knoxville for the past 3 years. Call 865-546-1111 or go to recintoacheck.com to see what OEB can do for you. So the national anthem has been played, and that lets you know this one is about on. So let's talk about tonight's matchup. And, you know, a lot of people were probably surprised by Coalfield's victory in Week 1 over Wartburg. And it's not that Coalfield won, it's how the Yellow Jackets were able to win. Harriman got its shot against the Bulldogs last week and came away with a 36-22 win. Can we draw anything from those games against the common opponent?
You can, but in high school football, it's more about matchups more than anything. Certain offensive systems and defenses match up better against each other, others, but it's more about the coaches identifying weaknesses and making the right individual matchups to expose those weaknesses identified on film study. So I expect a good matchup here tonight.
All right, so we saw Harriman in Week 1, and it seemed like Coach Tapp's team struggled with consistency and conditioning. Coalfield had at least last week off after canceling its regularly scheduled game against Stone Memorial. Harriman's used its time to work on some bugs and get better, and Coalfield has one game where it performed pretty well. So you're talking about a pretty big contrast there. If you didn't know anything about these teams except for their situations, would you give an advantage to one based on the scenarios?
Well, I'd always say that the team with the most live game reps is the more experienced team, and you can't beat experience in football. But all at the same time, Coalfield has had extra time to prepare for Harriman. So it will be interesting to see how the extra time to prepare will pay off for Coalfield. I think you'll see early success for Coalfield, especially offensively.
All right, so about 4 minutes till kickoff. What do you think the general strategy is for both of these teams?
Well, I think you'll see Coalfield have a good offensive game plan from the extra time to prepare for Harriman. So look for that to pay off early with some broken coverages, maybe with some 50-50 balls to Connor Johnson or to Dawson Nitschke at the wide receiver position, or big run plays from Seth Lau. Harriman will look to slow the Coalfield offense with some hard-hitting linebackers. The number 45, Malachi Ray. He is a college prospect, guys. If he continues developing, he can play at the next level. And then number 60 with Dylan Coca. We've seen him make plays before. He's all over the field. He gets east and west really quick from the linebacker position, so watch him fill those gaps. With some talented defensive backs that Harriman has, I think it's going to be a good game.
Now, let me ask you this, because you do have that scouting experience where you go into these stadiums and look at these smaller schools and try to get them to the next level. When you're watching a game with me, are you kind of evaluating some of these kids and seeing if they have next-level talent for, say, a school like Kentucky Christian?
Old habits are hard to break, Aaron, so that's kind of my mindset. Anytime I'm up here, I'm watching the most talented players kind of separate themselves from others and try to pick out who's going to play at the next level, because I always like keeping up with the kids and where they go after high school, and it's a good experience, and so far it's worked out pretty good.
So both teams getting set to get underway. As we see the captains on the field, they will conduct the coin toss. And tonight's game, the Harriman Blue Devils are 1-1, as you see on your screen. Coach Travis Tapp is in his 18th year. That's hard to believe, because I know you remember it. I remember when that guy was at Oakdale. And so we're getting old, man.
We are, man. Time flies.
So versus Coalfield, he's 6-18 overall, but at Harriman 4-11. So this is a young rivalry. The first meeting that we know about was in 1934, but the team didn't meet again until 2003. That's a pretty big break.
It's crazy to think, with just a couple miles separates them.
Yeah, so Harriman trails 5-11 in the overall series. At Harriman, they are 3-5, and here at Rochelle Field, just 1-6. And so the coin toss has happened, and Harriman is going to kick to start this game, and they will get the ball to start the second half. And so Coalfield playing in its 90th season, 455, 365, and 10 overall. So a lot of tradition here at this Coalfield High School. 11 district and region titles, as you see on your screen, 45 winning seasons. The 2016 Class 1A runner-up, a home record of 234, 172, and 5, a road record of 220, 189, and 5. So they'll be looking to improve that home record tonight. 32 playoff appearances, 38-32 in the playoffs overall. And the first football coach was in 1931, and that was Mr. W.R. Rochelle, to which this field is named after. And a lot of history at Coalfield. So looking forward to getting this one underway and seeing what Coalfield can do. They're hyped up and ready to go. So we touched on it a little bit, but where do you think the break for Coalfield last week, where do you think that has them standing tonight? Do you think they'll be a little bit rusty with that week off?
Yeah, you can always be rusty as a player, but I tell you who's sharper, and that's the coaches. They've had 2 full games to game film to watch of Harriman playing, so they're fully prepared. They know exactly what Harriman is going to be doing. They have ample time to study the film, so they probably got a good feel of what to expect at least this first quarter and on into the second.
Does that extra week of not playing, you said the coaches get better, they get that extra scouting week. Do you think that's more beneficial than your kids not getting on the field?
No, I don't. I think it definitely helps the coaches prepare the team, but live reps, you can never substitute live reps.
All right, getting set for that Davis Funeral Home kickoff. Davis Funeral Home with 2 locations in Harriman and Wartburg. Call Rob or Preston Davis for your funeral needs. That's a short kick taken at the 25, and let's see. Gets up to about the 30. They're going to give him the 39, and that is where Coalfield will start this drive. On the return is Levi Mullins, as we get to see a replay of that Davis Funeral Home kick. Thanks to our Chuck Fleischman replay. So, not a lot there, but great starting field position nonetheless for these Yellow Jackets. So the sophomore quarterback, Cole Hines, is going to throw on his first play of the game. That pass is complete to Dawson Nitschke. And just a little quick out.
Coalfield come out in the empty formation to see how Harriman would adjust to that. And it's a good strategy. Spread the field, make those big linebackers run east to west.
A pickup of 3 will bring up 2nd and 7. And again, an empty backfield, 5 wide set for Coalfield. Here's Hines. Looks downfield, has a man there, but the pass is too high. as he tried to hit Hayden Hicks that time. Just goes through his hands, and Coalfield will have a 3rd and 7.
You've got to be careful here. As I mentioned in the pregame, I said that there could be some wide open Coalfield wide receivers. And on that last play, there was a wide open wide receiver that the quarterback just missed.
Just a sophomore. Last year, of course, you had a starting quarterback in Peyton McKinney. And so Hines is stepping in, didn't get a lot of reps last year in just his second game with no 7-on-7s. So that's especially difficult for a team that is bringing in a brand new starter. Fakes the handoff to Lau, and Hines looks upfield, had a man there. I'm not sure if that was just a corner route or I don't know. It kind of looked like that was improv a little bit.
Yeah, they were trying to catch a DB sleeping in the backfield there. And this is part of the live reps I was talking about. You can tell Coalfield just a little on edge a little bit. They weren't quite in sync, and that's a testament to not having live reps last week.
So Landon Lau is going to punt this football away. And back deep for Harriman is Thomas Brown. Lau with a pretty good punt. It's going to land dead at the 23-yard line. Actually went a little bit farther before it goes out of bounds. They're going to mark that at the 20. So great punt.
The Blue Devils take over 1st and 10.
For Lau, and we're going to see Harriman's first offensive possession on our Hammers 1st and 10.
Interesting seeing how the big offensive line for Harriman responds here on this first drive. Let's see if they've worked on conditioning from that first week against Kingston.
And some of that we were expecting. Kingston has a lot more numbers, and so they were able to substitute a lot in, and you weren't able to do everything in the preseason that you wanted to do to get game ready. And look at this. Harriman's going to come out in a 5-wide set as well.
Watch for QB runs.
Tadarius Boyd takes the snap, quickly looks out, and they run basically the same play that Coalfield did. For Harriman, it's Jordan McCollum taking the reception. And it's interesting because wasn't Coalfield's first pass to a number 19 as well?
I tell you, it's interesting seeing Harriman in an empty formation. I can't hardly remember the last time that happened out of a Travis Tapp team. So that's pretty interesting. I can't wait to see this quarterback get some open running lanes out of this formation.
And Tadarius Boyd, if you remember, against Kingston, he was on target all night. And Boyd loses the football, and Coalfield thinks they have it. No signal yet. Okay. Harriman will retain possession, but Boyd just pulled, and he's got to come out of the game because his helmet came off, but Boyd just put that football to his side, and it slipped out of his hands.
Well, that's pocket awareness. The pocket broke down, and he should have stepped up, and he stepped back, and that gives that defender time to get to close the distance to the quarterback. Next time, if he can learn that, step up into the pocket, it will buy him a little more time.
Yeah, able to see that on the Chuck Fleischman replay. Fleischman has been the congressman since 2010, serving Anderson, Roane, and Morgan counties. So, Harriman now in a 3rd and 10. And I believe the Blue Devils are just going to call a timeout here. They are. Coach Travis Tapp's team is going to talk about it. 9:41 left to go in this first quarter of your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Fans, Coalfield Schools, Morgan County Schools,
OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
Back at Rochelle Field, we are scoreless in your OEB Law Game of the Week. OEB Law, through charities, school team, event sponsorships, including Spotlight Kids County Fairs, doing such things as Turkey Drop, support the remote area medical center, and CARM, the Kidney Foundation, Ronald McDonald House, and more. OEB Law is supporting the community and being involved. Go to reckontoacheck.com for more information. So, new quarterback into the game for Coalfield now, or I'm sorry, for Harriman, and that looks like Nick Pelfrey Pelfrey throws his towel out. He's got a 5-wide set, takes a couple steps and lets it fly way downfield. He's got a man. That's Brown. It's caught to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Can Brown be caught? Yes. But
he rolled in.
That's a touchdown. I think that's a touchdown.
I'm in agreement with that. He looked like he rolled over the defender to break the
out. He's got a 5-wide set. Takes down at the 1, which makes that officially a 79-yard completion. And how about Harriman bringing in Nick Pelfrey at quarterback and letting Pelfrey fling it downfield?
Reminds me of J.T. Shrout last year for Tennessee.
Right.
Comes in for one play, throws a 50-yard touchdown.
Right.
That's awesome.
And Boyd is back into the game. So do we see a 2-quarterback set here?
Electing to go shotgun on the 1-yard line.
And we do have a flag on the field. No, Tapp wants a timeout first. So Coach Tapp gets the timeout before he's flagged for something. And so he's going to talk to his team and try to draw up a play to get 6 points on the board in your OEB Law Game of the Week. And we'd also like to let you know that tonight's game is brought to you by the City of Rockwood. The Mayor of Rockwood and council members Steve Bryant, Jason Jolly, Shane True, Mike Fuller, Harold Holloway, and Bobby Anderson are all big fans of the Rockwood Fighting Tigers and hope they have a winning season this year so that they will be in the playoff picture at the end of the regular season. As Mayor Brillo Miller would say, go Tigers, play hard tonight, or next week, and win, as Rockwood has already played this week.
Let's see what Harriman decides to do after the timeout coming out here on the 1-yard line. Last time out here, they came out in a shotgun, spread the field, so look for some kind of handoff inside zone, or it's untelling with the Travis Tapp offense, to be honest with you, but it's rare to see him on a shotgun on the goal line.
It's difficult for me to think that if I'm calling plays, I'm calling anything other than like a quarterback sneak here or a fullback dive. But there's Boyd lined up in that pistol set, 2 wideouts either side, 2 tight ends. Boyd, handoff, and picking up nothing is Nasir Stokes.
It's an interesting play call, in this position on the field. You're trying to spread your field and get your running back a little bit of space in there, but it's pretty hard out of that formation. Coalfield is stacking the line of scrimmage.
And Stokes was patient, waiting for a hole to open up, and one just never did.
2nd and goal, Blue Devils, ball on the 1.
This time, shotgun formation as Stokes is going to be to Boyd's right. Handoff going from right to left. And Stokes gets in. Touchdown, Harriman.
For the Harriman touchdown, play covering 1 yard.
So the Blue Devils strike first.
Brought in 2 tight ends and run off the tackle, and it really paid off for them.
Now, on the 1-yard line, do you like stretch run plays like that?
Not too much, but if you bring in 2 tight ends, it always can add a big benefit there.
So with 8:27 left to go in the first quarter, it is Harriman that strikes first, trying to end that 4-game losing streak to the Coalfield Yellow Jackets.
Same formation.
Yeah. Except this time, it's Stokes on the left side of Boyd. Boyd this time drops back to pass. Quick out. That pass is complete. 2-point conversion succeeds. That's to Cam Clark. And Harriman is up 8-0, scoring on its first possession of this game.
Harriman's ready for a fight here tonight, and I think they've had plenty of live experience against Kingston, a bigger team, so they're ready.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak, it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And welcome back to the OEB Law Game of the Week. I am Aaron Harvey, joined by James Gibson, as Harriman has struck first. They lead this one 8-0 with 8:27 left to go in the first quarter as we prepare for our Davis Funeral Home kickoff. Davis Funeral Home, 2 locations in Harriman and Wartburg. Call Rob or Preston Davis for your funeral needs at 882-2000 or 346-2211. Also, you can visit davisfuneralhomes.com. Seth Lau back deep to receive for Coalfield as Pelfrey kicks this one high to the air. And wow, Harriman had it. Harriman had it on the ground.
By number 57, Logan Bunch.
It's a pooch kick. And Coalfield ready for it. As we see on the Chuck Fleischman replay, that was a beautiful kick. And then going for it was Sebastian Yeager. And Yeager got on the ground, had it in his grasp, and it just got away from him.
Big break for Coalfield there for him missing that ball. So Coalfield has the ball on the 41-yard line.
And on the first drive, Coalfield had it at the 39. So great starting field position for the Yellow Jackets. Hines back in at quarterback, sends a man in motion from right to left, and here's a handoff to Lau. Lau has lead blockers in front of him, makes a move, and is down at the 46-yard line. Pickup of 5 will bring up 2nd and 5.
Stop by number 60, Dylan Coca.
As we see on the OEB Law, or the Chuck Fleischman replay, Landon Lau was brought in motion from right to left as an extra blocker.
He just outran his protection there just a little bit. Is really good blocking on the play, though.
And this time, Hines sends a man in motion, fakes the jet sweep, instead hands it up the middle to Lau, and Lau picks up another couple of yards, which will bring up 3rd and 3.
Big Chase Johnson, number 71 of Harriman, coming in for the big play, shedded the block and made the tackle. See him here on the play. Took a swipe at the football, too. Good heads-up play.
Ball on the Coalfield 48.
All right, so Coalfield, and actually only 2 yards on that, will bring up 3rd and 4. So on Coalfield's 3rd down, 2 men to either side. Lau in the backfield. Here's Hines. He's going to up and throw. That pass is complete, and we'll have to see where he marked it because he had forward momentum around the line to gain. And he's going to be given the 48-yard line of Harriman, and that will be enough for a Hammers 1st and 10.
1st and 10, Yellow Jackets, ball on the Harriman 48.
Good catch by the wide receiver, going to the ball at the highest point, securing the catch.
And Hines, he's got a quick release. Once he goes back and he knows he's going to throw it, he gets it out in a hurry. So Coalfield enters Harriman's side of the field on the Hammers 1st and 10. 6:45 left to go in this first quarter. Man in motion again from right to left, and this time Hines option play, pitches it out to Lau, and Lau makes the first man miss and gets another extra couple of yards because of it. So we'll give him 4, and that will bring up 2nd and 6.
Good outside run, as you can see on the replay. The Coalfield offensive line getting to the 2nd level of Harriman, and that's what's creating running lanes for the running backs.
Yeah, you can see it on your Chuck Fleischman replay, and that's something you will always expect Coalfield to do. They're bringing the big uglies, and they're bringing them right at you.
44.
And Harriman keeping this man-on-man coverage, not having a safety in the middle of the field is kind of interesting.
Quarterback keeper, a draw play for Hines. Hines gets up to the 40-yard line. He'll be stopped a couple yards shy of the first down, and it will be another 3rd down for Coalfield, but this time just 2 yards to gain.
Right now, Harriman's defensive coordinator feels very comfortable in his defensive backs being athletic enough to cover Coalfield wide receivers one-on-one with not much coverage help across the middle of the field.
But you got to look at Coalfield having that success running the football. You got to wonder, is that going to wear Harriman down as this game goes on? Hines drops back to pass, has a man there, and it is complete. And brought down on the play is Levi Mullins. And Mullins is going to have enough for a Hammers 1st and 10 as he's brought down at the Harriman 36-yard line.
I would love to see a stop and go here. Basically what they just ran. Wide receiver just keep running down the field. And you probably will see somebody wide open.
Yeah, no safety help. Handoff, Lau. Gets it right up the gut. and picks up all the way to the 25-yard line, which should be enough for another Hammers 1st and 10.
Really good field vision here. He really identified the hole, if you see on the replay. Bounced back inside, bounced back outside, kept his shoulder pads low, and picked up some hard yards.
How hard is that for a running back to see the lane outside and divert away from it for the hole on the inside?
That's what separates the good ones from the great ones.
I wouldn't be a great running back. I'd want to go outside every time. So here's Coalfield again in that twin set. Sends a man in motion, handoff Lau, going from right to left again. And it's brought down, I believe they're going to give him the 20, which is a pickup of 7, which will bring up a 2nd and 3 on that Hammers 1st and 10.
Again, Coalfield's offensive line is getting a decent push, and they are getting to the second level, even if it is just to get a quick hand on the linebackers. It's working right now, and it's working good for the Coalfield run game.
So again, Coalfield coming out with those twin sets and sending a man in motion again. And that's Levi Mullins. And another option play. This time, Hines is going to keep it and picks up big yardage. Gets inside the 10-yard line.
Cole Hines, the ball carrier.
That's all Cole Hines right there. That's a great run. Good job picking up the first down. Never quit.
I believe they're going to mark him at the 8, which will be a Hammers 1st and goal, and that would be a 12-yard pickup on the play for the sophomore Hines, making just his second start of the season.
From the 8.
So this time Hines with Lau in the backfield. Hines drops back to pass, fakes it, now throws to the end zone. That pass is overthrown. That was that stop and go you were looking for, but just a little bit close to the end zone.
That's a hard play on the goal line. When you got a little more room in open field, that's a good play call. But it almost worked, so let's see what they do here.
Your window to get that in, as we see on the Chuck Fleischman replay, is a lot smaller.
Well, it's yes, exactly. Your defensive backs, it's a lot easier job for them. It's a lot less ground for them to cover.
And we've got a timeout on the field, and I'm not sure why. Hearing Landon Lau had some blood on him.
He'll have to get that wrapped up real quick, and he can get back in there. What a beautiful night here. It's about 75 degrees. Just had a little bit of rain before kickoff. A great night for football.
Wonderful night. And the field here is always in such great condition. Beautiful field. So same set again, same man in motion again from left to right for Hines. Hines hands off Lau. Lau looking for a hole, cuts it back inside, picks up a couple. And I'm not sure. We're going to have a timeout on the field. Chase Johnson's helmet came off for Harriman.
And that's a big shot for Harriman down here on the goal line. You want one of your bigger, stronger players on the field right now. So that could have an impact right here.
So we got 3rd and goal from the 5. A pickup of 3 for Lau on that one. What are you looking for here?
3rd and goal, Yellow Jackets.
I'm handing off Chase Lyles, Seth Lyles, who I'm handing off to right here. He's averaged a good 4 or 5 yards per carry. I think you can punch it in.
2 backs in the backfield for Coalfield, and the Yellow Jackets want to talk about it. So Coach Henry will consult his team and see what they're going to do on this big 3rd down in your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Mr. Walker, a lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases, all at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
Back at your OEB Law
quarter,
Game of the Week.
22, Cosby nothing.
Just 2:33 left to go in this first quarter. Coalfield has a big 3rd and goal here, but this is 4-down territory. So Coalfield knows it's going to have 2 shots to get this one into the end zone.
Yeah, it really does. I look for them to identify Mr. Seth Lau here. He's run the ball pretty good all night, probably off tackle.
Wow, so Hines under center with 3 backs in the backfield. Handoff to Lau with 2 leading blockers, and Lau is going to knock somebody over to get in. Lau saw Brady Stubbs and said, "Get out of my way."
Now that's a man running that football, Aaron. That's a good high school East Tennessee running back. He just imposed his will on the defender.
In case you didn't know it, touchdown, Coalfield. And they've cut this Harriman lead down to 2 points. Let's look at this Chuck Floshman replay. Oh, man. Yeah, that's the hit stick that you get in Madden.
Same formation, 2-point conversion.
And not the same play. It's faked, and Hines is easily able to complete that pass. That time goes to Mullins. And so the game is tied 8-8. Coalfield responds and ties this one up in your first quarter with 2:27 left to go in your OEB Law Game of the Week. And welcome back into your OEB Law Game of the Week. As you saw that graphic, we'll have a good one next week. So tune in for that one. 2:27 left to go as we get ready for our Davis Funeral Homes kickoff. Davis Funeral Homes with 2 locations. You see the numbers on your screen, or go to davisfuneralhomes.com for more information. This is a great kick, and it's taken at about the 15 for Harriman, and getting upfield and being suplexed down was that Brown?
Landon Lau looked like the defender for Coalfield.
As we see our Chuck Fleischman replay. It's a really nice kick.
Let's see if Harriman can come back out and capitalize on a good offensive possession here like they did at the beginning of the game.
And no, excuse me, that was Brady Stubbs on that return. So last time Harriman went 80 yards to score on its drive. This time they'll try to go 70. And here's Boyd. Pass is almost caught twice by Harriman, and that pass ball is incomplete. So I'm not sure. Was he going for Clark, or was he going for Stokes there?
I think he was going for
Brown,
Clark, or the number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah.
And he missed him completely, got lucky, bounced off the second Harriman player. There was a miscommunication there somewhere. You don't have 2 wide receivers in the same part of the field. So.
Yeah, Clark alligator armed it a little bit, thinking that pass was probably supposed to go behind him. So empty set again as Boyd sends a man in motion. Gets the shotgun snap, looks back, and lets it fly. That pass is complete. What a great catch that time by Camion Campbell.
Exact same play as before, just went to the other side of the field.
And look at this Chuck Fleischman replay. You're talking about high point in a football.
Very good catch.
Pass was a little high. Campbell able to change his body. Picks up 5, so a big 3rd and 5 for Harriman. Boyd gets the play, brings it into his team.
I'd like to see Coalfield bring some pressure on the young quarterback, try to make him move around a little bit.
Empty set again, which is what Harriman has done this entire game. Boyd drops back to pass, lets it go way downfield. That pass is broken up by Coalfield's Dawson Nitschke. And pass was just a little bit underthrown.
I like the aggressive play calling, though. That is different for Harriman, and I like it. 2020 is a new year for the play caller. If you can set your feet on that throw you would have led the receiver a little bit more.
It's 4th down.
Had the one-on-one coverage.
He did. It was there. He just he released off of his back foot.
And we've got a flag on the play as we see the official counting some players. And that's going to be illegal participation on Harriman. That's a 5-yard penalty. 12 men on the field. Or 13 or 14 or 15 or 16. I don't know. I didn't count them.
Substitution.
So knocks them back 5 yards, 4th and 10 now. As Brown back to punt, gets this one away. It's a wobbly end-over-ender, and it's muffed and brought up to the 41-yard line of Coalfield, and that's where the Yellow Jackets will take over. And again, Coalfield will have very good field position, as it was the senior Dawson Nitschke receiving that one and not handling it cleanly.
No, it's pretty dangerous, but it's a pretty good punt. I was impressed by that. Really high, which made it hard to catch. Gives your defenders time to get down there to get a face in front of him. So it was a pretty good kick.
So Hammer's 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets at the Coalfield 41-yard line. The starting field position disparity in this game is pretty great, as Coalfield has started up near midfield every drive. And here's a handoff on a reverse going from right to left, and open field, and makes a man move. He's getting to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Coalfield. That's Levi Mullins. We do have a flag around midfield, and that's in the area of a block in the back or a hold.
Looked to be block on in the back by the wide receiver down here at the bottom of your screen. Big and unfortunate, and it might have been unnecessary as well. But, again, live reps. This is something that you can kind of work on in scrimmages and in games on film. Coalfield only having played one game. That's something that you might see.
Yeah, so Mullins got that reverse from right to left and then made a cutback upfield and outran everyone. Unfortunately, it is a block in the back for Coalfield. And from the spot of the foul, that's at the Harriman 48. Back that up 10 yards. Look on this Chuck Fleischman replay. We should be able to see it.
Illegal block in the back.
There it is.
It was unnecessary. He had big linemen down the field blocking for him. It was a really good run by number 20, Levi Mullins. He's a really good speedster. So look for that play again here in a little bit.
And Mullins made that beautiful cutback upfield.
Coalfield really taking advantage of the size of Harriman and running a lot of off-tackle, east-to-west football, and it's really wearing out Harriman.
So we will replay the Hammers' first down. This time it's 1st and 12. Hines, man in motion. That's Lau. Fakes the handoff and gives it to the other Lau. That's Seth Lau. And Lau is stopped in the backfield after a loss of 1, so we'll see 2nd and 13 here.
Good job by the Harriman defensive line getting some push. Number 54. He is everywhere all over this field.
Ball on the Coalfield 39.
Dandy football player for Harriman.
And that's Malachi Ray, who you said in the pregame had potential to play at the next level. So Coalfield comes out, 2 wide receivers on either side. Again, Lau in the backfield. Hines drops back to pass, screen pass to Lau, and Lau's got some room. Coming up the left sideline, stays in bounds before he's out. I saw him step out, as did the official. I believe they're going to give him the 43-yard line, and we had a little bit of maybe some jawing there on the sidelines, but that is well enough for a Hammers 1st and 10. As we see on the Chuck Fleischman replay, Lau, just given that open field, he knows what to do with that football.
Coalfield caught him with a screen pass. Defensive line never read it, took off running after the quarterback, and he just dumped it off to the standing Seth Lowney took off for a big run.
And actually, the officials are going to spot that football at the 40, but Lau stepped out at the 44. We have the advantage of replay. They don't. I'm not going to, criticize. So Hammers 1st and 10 from the Harriman 40-yard line. Hines in the backfield. Handoff, Lau. And he is met right at the line of scrimmage and dropped. And you know who that is?
Malachi Ray.
Malachi.
Coming in big. He locks down that edge. He's a dandy football player, and he closes ground quickly.
That's the end of the first quarter.
And that is the end of the first quarter. We are tied up at 8 here at Rochelle Field. We'll have the second quarter for you when we get back in your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses.
Coming out of this quarter?
If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring the full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
And welcome back to your OEB Law Game of the Week. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by Coach James Gibson. As we get ready to start this second quarter with Harriman and Coalfield tied at 8, but Coalfield driving.
The Jacket defense led by 1981 All-State.
If you're just joining us, Harriman struck first, driving 80 yards down the field to score, and Coalfield answered
with a 6-0 overtime triumph. Check out John Boy's tasty beef brisket and pulled pork, and join us in 2 weeks.
We've got a very good football game here tonight, 8-8. Coalfield is up for the challenge, and Harriman has been responding well.
And we are joined now by Mr. Tim Elrod of OEB Law, and again, getting to come out and see some football. It's nice to see some football, isn't it?
It's great, ain't it? It's absolutely wonderful. Couldn't be happier to be here. Coalfield's a great place to be with great people.
Yeah, and the field. Coalfield, they care about their athletics, and they care about their football for sure.
This field is in great condition. I was at Oliver Springs last night. Their field was good, but, you can tell Coalfield takes pride.
And here is Lau on the option play. It's down to about the 31-yard line. A good pickup on first down will be close to the first down. And both teams, I think, look pretty impressive so far.
That's right. Harriman, explosive, first series, very explosive, but that sustained drive by Coalfield, that was smash mouth football, and they capped it off the right way.
And that's what we always expect to see from the Yellow Jackets. So your participation in the sport, you love giving back to these communities, don't you?
Absolutely love to give back to the communities. They support us, by when they get injured in a car wreck or they've got a problem, they'll give us a call, and so we feel like it's always important to give back.
And speaking of giving back, I think Hines was able to give his team a Hammers 1st and 10 by picking up 2 on that play. So OEB Law, it's been a really, really strange year. Would you say that, your business has been the same? Have people needed law services the same, more or less, with this pandemic?
Right, so absolutely the same. We're really proud of the level of service we provide. And, we've kept that standard throughout this whole thing. I've got a great staff. Everybody chips in, and we get the job done for our people, and we've been there this entire time and, been able to help people during that time.
Hammers 1st and 10. Hines is looking way downfield. He's got a man there. It's Lau, and Lau will score. Touchdown, Coalfield. This lead is now 14-8 for the Yellow Jackets. Seth Lau, man, he's a player.
Somebody's come to play. I don't care what division of school you're in. A player is a player.
A player is a player.
That guy has come to play tonight.
All right, so you give schools, every school that we go to on these, you go Thursday nights with Rivalry Thursdays, you go Friday nights with us, you give the schools $1,000. What made you start doing that?
It was, again, it goes back to doing the right thing. If somebody's going to trust you with their case and you see that through and, you benefit from that, well, we help a lot of people, so we're very fortunate and blessed in that regard. And we like to give it back because that's what you're supposed to do.
A little bit of a miscommunication there as Hines can't find Lau, but you want to give it back. You see some people in some really bad situations and unfortunate, down on their luck.
Yeah, sure. We represent everybody. We represent people from Morgan County, Knox County, Anderson, Roane, Campbell. I mean, you can get into Blunt. I mean, the list goes on. We really focus on helping East Tennesseans.
Yeah, and you've handled national cases as well.
Sure, yeah. We do a lot of work with people when they need mass tort helps. When you see those commercials for bad drugs or bad medical devices, those are national firms, and we partner and team with those and kind of serve as a liaison between our people here in East Tennessee. We watch out for them, make sure that, they're going to get the best representation possible. So
I didn't know that about OEB Law. I didn't know that you would serve as that liaison for those national cases. So that helps people feel confident. If they've got something and it looks like it's too big for them to go at themselves, they can call you and you can help them out on that national level too.
Sure, and if we can't, then we'll find somebody good enough, to do it, because I like to think people here in East Tennessee need really good quality representation. It's very meaningful in their lives, whether it's a car wreck or a criminal problem or even a divorce. It doesn't matter. It's very important.
This is a Davis Funeral Home kickoff taken at the 20 and brought up to the 30, cross the 30 down to about the 32-yard line, and that's where Harriman will start this drive with the Hammers 1st and 10. We know, we've heard it for years, wreck into a check. You can go to wreckintoacheck.com and get more information, but I mean, that's a great way for someone to remember you, but that's not all you do.
Oh, no, man. We do workers' comp. If you've been hurt on the job, we do that. If you need help, if you're hurt, we'll figure it out with you and point you in the right direction and represent you to our best ability. I think Harriman is really got to turn something on this drive.
It would be big to see Harriman respond, and Harriman going to run out of the backfield and be swallowed up in that same backfield as Stokes gets the carry and loses a couple yards. But I think with the way we've seen Harriman move the ball so far, they can throw it and pick up some big yardage.
They have playmakers, that they can make big plays. So they just got to get them the ball.
And that's part of it. I don't think Harriman, Coach Travis Tapp, is too concerned about losing a couple yards on first down just for that reason. Lined up in a 5-wide set almost every play of this game. Maybe getting out of that a little bit, lining up in the pistol. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right, as Boyd drops back to pass. Has a man there, and it might have been tipped, and we've got a flag. We will have a pass interference, and Thomas Brown of Harriman, he wanted it. He knew that he was being held.
Well, that was kind of touchy. Come on.
I think the pass was, we'll see this on the Chuck Fleischman replay, the pass was thrown behind Brown here, but that contact was there.
Yeah. Well, they look like they're playing ball to me. I'm sure a lot of your viewers would agree.
You've got the defensive mindset.
Depending on where you're from, of course.
the coach, James Gibson, loved that comment from you. Let them play.
Let them play. Let them play.
So that pass interference should be enough for a Hammers 1st and 10 after that 15-yard penalty. The ball will be spotted at the 47-yard line of Harriman, and we'll have a Hammers 1st and 10. Mr. Elrod, I want to thank you so much for allowing us to come up here and to get some of these kids on television, get them seen, get them known to the community so that so many people can watch this game.
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter what your classification is. You have student athletes out here competing at a high level, and they're giving it 110%, and it shows. How about that one?
Boyd throws a go route, and it's complete to Brown.
Explosive.
And Thomas Brown has a huge pickup. And look at this Chuck Fleischman replay. That was a fly route all the way. And Brown The defender lost the ball, and Brown went up and made the play, caught that ball at its highest point, and huge play. That's why we were talking about, I don't think Coach Travis Tapp is worried about losing a couple yards on first down.
No, not when you have explosive plays like that in your arsenal. No doubt about that.
So here's a handoff, and
there's a hold.
And a huge game on the play, but you are going to see that one come back a little bit as we got the dirty laundry on the field. And that
no doubt, you know, in Anderson County, the announcer always says, giving them the business. Or, you know,
yeah,
got to love the home field advantage at high schools like Coalfield or Harriman or any Kingston, you know, all of them. Home field advantage is very important.
Well, and especially here at Coalfield, you look like these stands. It's not the biggest bleachers we've got in the area, but they're always filled, and you always have people lining up on the fence to watch this Yellow Jacket football team, and it's been like that for as long as I can remember.
And, you know, it looks like there's a lot of masks and a lot of social distancing. People are making an effort, and that's what's important to keep that going until we can get through these times.
Yeah, we definitely want to see that.
Right.
So here's Boyd, empty set again, drops back to pass, lets it fly. Brown is there. That pass is a little bit overthrown. It's actually not Brown that time. It was Jordan McCollum.
Well, he's like 6'4".
Yeah, McCollum is a great athlete.
He's 6'6". Wow. Wow.
Oh. It's one of those, you feel good throwing it up to him and letting him try to make a 50-50 play on it. And you can see out there, he just towers over everyone. Great athlete.
Wouldn't surprise me to see him playing basketball.
I would say.
I'm sure he's explosive to watching that, too.
Yeah, Harriman's had some very, very talented McCollums over the years. So here's Boyd, lines up. His pass is complete. And just a shallow cross, it looked like. That pass goes to Campbell, and Campbell picks up a lot of, gets a lot of that back from that holding call.
At first by number 20, Levi Mullins.
Let's see, ball spotted at the 22-yard line. So back up to about the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and long, but this is 4-down territory for
3rd and 9 for the Blue Devils.
Yeah.
Ball on the 22.
I don't know. Maybe they've got a play that will put them in the end zone on this one.
Oh, you know they do.
No, well, we're getting ready to find out.
Just 8:08 left to go in this first half. If you're just joining us, Coalfield leads over Harriman 14-8. Tadarius Boyd, the sophomore, drops back to pass, 3-step drop, lets it go, and that's up for McCollum, and it's caught. Touchdown, Harriman.
Players got to play. Come on.
Jordan McCollum.
That's a throwdown. That's a dunk.
And you get that one-on-one coverage. And
that's a down.
Yeah.
Elbow deep.
You know he's comfortable going up and catching that one.
You know, I think that's what this game's all about. You have Coalfield that can really make some sustained drives, and you've got explosiveness with Harriman. This could be a shootout that goes into the fourth quarter, no doubt.
So, but if you're going to ask Coach James Gibson to look at both of those styles of play, he's going to take the one that's going to wear you down all throughout the game as opposed to the one that's explosive on offense. Am I right about that?
Yes, you are. But, hey, it never hurts to have those type of playmakers on your side.
That's true. So, Boyd, the play is blown dead in the backfield. I believe we're going to have a delay of game. We are. Oh, you can't have that. That moves you from the 2 to the 7. Or from the 3 to the 8.
5 yards, dead ball foul, delay of game.
But if Harriman wanted to throw the football, that gives them a little bit more room to do it. And that throw over the middle is incomplete. And we have a tie game with 7:52 left to go in the first half. It's Coalfield 14, Harriman 14.
2-point conversion pass incomplete.
Again, Tim Elrod joining us of OEB Law. Gives $1,000 to all of these schools, helps out the community in so many different ways, and we are thankful to have him on board with us this season.
Hey, it's great to be here. I appreciate everything you do for having me on, and I look forward to turning more wrecks into checks, but really it's about Friday nights here, and, that's what we're all about.
And you got to be up here and help call 2 touchdowns. That's pretty good, right?
Oh, I'm just hanging out, man. Just hanging out.
I appreciate it.
All right, good deal.
Tim Elrod, OEB Law. Go to wreckintoacheck.com for more information. OEB Law, our title sponsor this season. That's a cool dude, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And he does so much for the community. You touched on that. There's a lot of people sitting at home right now that would like to be here, but due to COVID-19, they're watching from home, and he brings that to you. So please reach out.
And we're thankful to all of our sponsors, including Randy Ellis, the commission chairperson for Roane County. He says go Blue Devils. He's a graduate of Harriman High and supports Blue Devils. Proud to serve the 2nd District of Roane County and wants to make Roane County a better place for all of us. As this Davis Funeral Home kickoff is bouncing into the 30 and picked up at the 27 and quickly getting upfield for Coalfield. That's Nitschke. And there's a flag on the play, but if you're going to kick it short, you're not going to want to kick it short to Dawson Nitschke.
No, definitely not. He can take it back in a hurry. So, but Harriman's trying to pooch kick just to keep them from getting good field position, and it's not working too well. So
that didn't work.
Coalfield's had field position, the better field position all night long.
Let's see what this flag is. Did you see what occurred on the play?
No, but if I was guessing, I'm saying holding or blocking back.
If you're a betting man. No.
Crackback.
Okay. And that's on Coalfield. That's a crackback block, and that's a big one. I don't know if we'll be able to see it on our Chuck Fleischman replay.
15 yards.
Be looking around the 40-yard line. Okay. You see the player right there at the 35-yard line. I don't know.
That's a tough call, but hey, the referees are out there to do a job, and I know I can't do it.
You know what? It's about player safety before anything. So Hammers 1st and 10 as Lau gets the handoff, and this time it's Landon Lau instead of Seth Lau.
Seth Lau, the ball carrier.
And Landon Lau
by Malachi Ray.
Brings it up to the 25. Gets it up to the 25-yard line. The original line of scrimmage was a 20. Pick up a 5 will bring up 2nd and 5.
Pretty good run there, really. And Malachi Ray just blocked him long enough to keep him off of him for about 5 yards. So pretty good play call.
2nd and 6, Yellow Jackets on the 25.
And Coalfield likes that loaded backfield that they ran to end last series. There's 3 backs in the backfield, and here's Lau running to his left, 2 lead blockers, a lot of green grass in front of him. Gets to midfield and is pushed out of bounds.
Lau, the ball carrier.
By Sebastian Yeager. But that is a huge gain of, well, let's see where they mark it.
Harriman is compacted, as you see on the replay. Coalfield running off tackle with a flurry of offensive players leading the way.
1st and 10, Yellow Jackets.
That's a 24-yard run that time for Seth Lau. And we will have a Hammers 1st and 10 from the Yellow Jacket 49.
Bryson Ridge, the big offensive lineman for Coalfield, really made that play right there. Excellent blocking.
And same formation, same play, but this time Landon Lau goes from left to right, and he's cut down at the 47-yard line of Harriman. 4-yard pickup will bring up 2nd and 6.
Again, Harriman loving the off tackle, making the bigger players of Harriman run east to west, and they are starting to wear down. Good blocking by the Coalfield wide receiver to pick up a good 4 yards.
Yeah, it's Kanan Bowling picking up that block.
2nd and 6.
You know, if you've got some big offensive linemen, it's kind of unfair to have 2 lead blockers coming out of the backfield and a tight end lead blocking too.
Especially Offensive line, they're really staying low and getting a good push.
Do you think Coach Tapp is playing a little safe here, not wanting to throw the football and possibly turn it over in their territory?
Coach Tapp and safe? Yes. I guarantee it.
Because Harriman had been 5 wide almost the entire game, and now it's been a pistol set the first 3 plays. Oh, and Boyd going to drop back and throw it. That pass is almost complete.
Well, I tell you what, Aaron, what that tells me is there is some outside influence that has took place to change the play calling up a little bit with Travis Tapp. Travis Tapp in years past would have been safe rather than sorry in that situation, so that's good to see.
Well, Brown ran a seam route, looked like right up the middle, and got his hands on the football, but credit Coalfield's defender for breaking that one up, and now Brown has to get on the field to punt this one away.
He does everything for Harriman. He is a great athlete.
Wonderful athlete. Back deep to receive for Coalfield is Nitschke, and that might have been partially blocked. That's a wobbly ball that lands at the Harriman 27-yard line and rolls out of bounds. So Coalfield, once again, it's been a story of this football game, is going to have excellent field position.
And the junior Hayden Hicks coming in big for the punt team, coming up and getting a hand on the football. Again, Coalfield with great field position.
So let's see what Coalfield wants to do here. They came out looking like, they wanted to spread it out just a little bit. I was surprised that they threw the football the first 2 or 3 plays of the game before settling into that running game. And again, they've got the 3 backs in the backfield. Hands off to Lau, running from right to left with 2 lead blockers, and Lau is dropped in the backfield.
Seth Lau, the ball carrier.
Coalfield really liking that 30 personnel. They come out with 3 running backs, no tight ends, and they love running that off tackle. And it has worked successfully almost all night with the Harriman linebackers not being able to trail.
You're talking about a 30 personnel. I don't know that.
Yellow Jackets.
I cannot remember the last time I've seen a 30 personnel.
It's been a while, but a lot of high school, a lot of small high school football, single, double A, they still run it. It's very successful, and it's hard to stop.
They like that power running game. This time Coalfield's going to open it back up and get back into the set that they were in earlier with 2 wideouts either side. Hines drops back to pass. He's got a man there on a post route, and it's Lau, broken up and incomplete right around the goal line.
Kamayan Campbell defending.
And so Seth Lau got his paws on it but couldn't bring it down.
He had forever to make that throw. So if you're the defensive coordinator for Harriman, you have got to get some more pressure on him or he will start completing those passes. But what a great job by Thomas Brown and Cameron Campbell really closing the distance there to break up that pass.
And you said Brown does a little bit of everything. We've seen him make great plays on all sides of the football. Go in this first. It has been a great Those Rockwood. Took that timeout so early. You got 50 seconds left. You don't have a timeout. You're going to run the football. Do you feel like you can get 3 more runs in 50 seconds?
Yeah, they were a little discombobulated there, and you don't want to waste your opportunity down here on the 1-2 yard line to punch this in. So I understand. Take a timeout, talk about it. Let's not make a mistake here, and let's punch this in. That's a good timeout.
Harriman elected to kick to start this game. Well, defer to the second half. There's a difference between those two. Did you know that?
Absolutely.
We found that out. Well, you probably didn't, but I found that out last year as it almost resulted in a disaster for an NFL team. They said that they wanted to kick to start the game after they won the toss. You don't want to say to kick. You want to say defer to the second half. Because if you say you want to kick, then the other team gets the choice to start the second half, and so they can make you kick again. So you have to defer your choice to the second half.
There's a reason that you always put your smartest players out there before the pregame to make those decisions.
So, anyway, a little off topic there, but no, Harriman deferred to the second half, so the Blue Devils will receive to start this second half.
Coalfield coming back out in the 30 personnel.
Not surprising. Had a lot of success out of that. And handoff goes to Lau. Lau's got a lot of running room, reaches for the end zone. Does he get in? He does. Touchdown, Coalfield.
Seth Lau scores.
44.7 ticks left to go in this half, and Seth Lau's got 6 more points on the board.
And this drive goes all the way, this touchdown for Coalfield goes all the way back to that decision for Travis Tapp when he threw the ball 3rd and long. You probably could have ran some more time off the clock, which would have prevented Coalfield of getting in here for this late second quarter touchdown.
It could have. That's a great point. Hindsight's always 20/20. And now Coalfield, like it has after the first 2 scores, is going for 2. Hines takes a snap, but the play is blown dead. Dead ball, delay of game on Coalfield. That's a 5-yard penalty, and that's the second delay of game we've seen on a 2-point conversion try. The first one was Harriman down here right after their last touchdown.
Coalfield penalized 5 yards, dead ball foul, delay of game.
Let's see if that changes the play call up a little bit for the offensive coordinator. They were staying in the 30 personnel.
I'd almost guarantee it. And this time, shotgun formation, 3 wideouts to the left. Hines drops back to pass. Look, now he's rolling out to his left. Got Malachi Ray chasing him, and that pass is picked off. And in high school, that play is blown dead.
Intercepted, the 2-point conversion try is no good.
In other levels of football, that could have been returned for 2 points, which could have been huge.
It is. I'd like to see that rule change in high school as well. And I know that young man right there definitely does.
So Hines was being pressured by Malachi Ray, lets it fly, the ball goes straight up into the air, and is picked off. So 2-point conversion fails. With 44 seconds left, the score is 20-14 in favor of the home team. And, gosh, with the way Harriman has been lining up 5 wide, you got to think they're going to try to go downfield. But the difference now is Coalfield's going to be lining up in a quarters defense or a prevent-type defense to try to, keep the wide receivers from getting. And Hayden Hicks was there on the coverage for Coalfield.
Incomplete. Hayden Hicks defending.
And Hicks had his hands on it, but couldn't come down with it.
He had more time there, but he still rushed to throw a little bit, and that'll come in time. Pretty good release on the ball, though.
A little bit off target there.
A little bit off target.
So we go from 16 seconds to 9.9, essentially 10 seconds.
I'm not looking anywhere other than 19-6 if I'm the play caller for Harriman.
19-6, both lined up on the right side of the field. Boyd takes a snap, has a man in his face, just throws it as far and hard as he can, and making the one-handed catch is McCollum, and he's going to take it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Harriman. There is a penalty marker on the play, though.
What an outstanding play that will be remembered for a long time in that young man's memory. What a play, and unfortunately it looks like holding against Harriman.
Oh, man, and Boyd has to be so upset about that because he didn't have a lot of time anyway. He had somebody in his face. That hold could not have made much of a difference. Look at our Chuck Fleischman replay, though. Jordan McCollum going up, getting one hand on that ball and bringing it down to himself to catch it and get in the end zone.
Harriman penalized 10 yards from the spot. Holding.
Very unfortunate. And now we will have one untimed down as that took all the time off the clock.
50-50 balls, you like your chances if you got a long, tall wide receiver like that can really jump. I like the aggressive play calling again from Harriman. This is a different team, and I like what I'm seeing so far. Utilizing their athletes the way that Harriman should have been doing. Coalfield coming out, only rushing 3, dropping everybody else. Prevent defense.
And still getting pressure. Boyd still had defenders in his face.
Of the first quarter.
And tries to find Pelfrey. That pass falls incomplete. And this first half comes to a close. Coalfield with the 2014 lead. Harriman will get the kickoff to start the second half. So what do you take away from that first half?
That Harriman is here to play. They're doing a lot of different things than what they normally do. So they're pulling out all the strings. They're going to get some wins this season, and I like what I'm seeing. They're going after their big athletes, and that's what you want to see out of an offensive play caller.
We want to thank all of our sponsors for tonight's game, the OEB Law Game of the Week. You've got Hammers, Davis Funeral Home, of course, and Congressman Chuck Fleischman, but also Harriman Utility Board, Oak Ridge Utility District, Evans Mortuary, S.L. Bowman & Sons, Griffin Insurance, and Rockwood Natural Gas. We're thankful for all of our sponsors allowing us to get some of these kids on TV and get the big audience to be able to see them, as we are streaming on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course, Channel 12, BBB TV. So Coalfield again with the 2014 lead as we go into the half, and Harriman will get the ball to start the second half. It's been a pretty good football game so far.
Yeah, and as Coach Tapp was walking off the field, he was sure letting those referees know his opinion on that holding call. That was a big play, and one that young man will remember the rest of his life.
Yeah, you know, that was such a big play, and I just don't think that hold could have had a huge bearing on that play. It couldn't have.
It couldn't have, and the young man that did it, I'm sure he's sick to his stomach, but hey, you got a whole nother second half of football here.
Golly, I hate seeing big plays like that called back. But
fans introducing the 2020 Coalfield.
The rules is rules. That's it.
Captain Taylor Riley.
What a beautiful night here as the fog kind of settles in.
Senior captain.
It is. I'm so thankful to be here on your OEB Law Game of the Week. We'll do some halftime stuff for you when we get back to Rochelle Field.
Senior Ellie Cooper. Junior Farrah Meredith
is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacle blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak, it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
Don't dig blind. Buried utilities are everywhere. Always contact 811 before you dig to have your utilities marked.
Is back at Rochelle Field for your OEB Law Game of the Week. It is halftime, and Coalfield leading this one 20-14. Harriman will get the ball to begin the second half, and it has been a back and forth showdown, a very highly entertaining game tonight here at Coalfield School. I am Aaron Harvey, and again, we'd like to welcome on our title sponsor, OEB Law, turning your wreck into a check, any wreck, big or small. And it can turn your life upside down with bills, inconvenience, lost wages, and stress. OEB understands and knows you need a full and fair compensation for those losses. And to help you get your life back to as normal as possible, go to wreckintoacheck.com or call 865-546-1111 for more information. Here are your first half stats. As Coalfield with 8 first downs to Harriman's 4. And rushing yards, Coalfield 105 to Harriman's 44. Not really a surprise there. Coalfield with a lot of success on the ground. Harriman doubled up Coalfield in passing yards, 162 to Coalfield's 80. Total yards, check this, Harriman, by probably a virtue of having worse starting field position, has more yardage in this first half than Coalfield. Not much, 206 to 185. Of course, no turnovers yet in this game. Penalties, 4 for 36 and 3 for 37, time of possession. And this is the one that I think really could make a big difference in this second half. Coalfield playing that possession football. They're running it down Harriman's throat. They've had the football for 15:45 to Harriman's 8:15. Coach James Gibson, dissect these stats for me, sir.
Well, the biggest thing that jumps off the chart to me is the passing yards. 162 for Harriman with 44 rushing yards. Normally that's switched. 162 yards rushing would be more Harriman-esque. So I like it. They've changed it up a lot. 162 yards passing, that tells you a lot, but the time of possession really is the telltale. 15 minutes that Coalfield controlled the football. That is impressive, and to only be behind by 1 score, that's a pretty good situation to be in if you're Harriman. You kind of like where you're at right now.
It kind of reminds me, I'm trying to think of a scenario. You've got, look at the scene here at Coalfield.
Now that's the community that we talk about. That's the community aspect to the small high school football in East Tennessee. I guarantee you some of the guys that's on the screen that you see now are some of the same guys that's out here painting this field, mowing this field week in, week out, 12 months out of the year. So the community aspect is huge, and that's a big testament to OEB Law, to what they bring to the community, that $1,000 check that they bring here to the schools that they're supporting. It goes a long way.
I guarantee you a lot of those guys, too, have had their names called on Friday nights here at Rochelle Field as well. So, Brad Jones is calling out Carmen Hans. See if we can see her on the screen. There she is, blonde-haired Carmen Hans. And, you know, I don't know if you recognize Carmen Hans, but longtime girls basketball coach here at Coalfield, took the Lady Yellow Jackets to multiple state tournament appearances, and a longtime teacher here at Coalfield as well. A wonderful basketball player herself, as I understand. And that's one of those things you're talking about. These people who have been in this area for as long as they have, they get here, they go to school here, and then they contribute to it once they're out of here. And so you see some more familiar faces.
Jimbo Godwin, a Coalfield great.
His son Cameron Godwin was on that tournament team that made it to the finals.
Big Brandon Foster, one of the middle school softball coaches here at Coalfield.
And not just a middle school softball coach, another former Coalfield athlete.
Yeah, played tight end here. Was
Coalfield
all
great.
Region, I think all East Tennessee. Was a great football player. Had the opportunity to play against Brandon Foster. If you just look down through there, you will see several guys walking around that you used to see on this very channel.
And there's Jimbo Godwin, as you were talking about, wearing that ball cap up against the fence talking to people. Yeah, his son Cameron was a senior in 2016 when Coalfield made it to the state championship game and scored the only touchdown in that game for Coalfield on a pass from then freshman Parker McKinney. And, of course, Parker's off playing for EKU with his brother now. So, Coalfield traditions. You know what? I'm going to add one in here just for personal reasons. Because, look, we don't have a band that we can watch like we do normally. So, we got to kill the time somehow. So, I'm going to say this. My wife and I started talking to each other, to date each other, after a Coalfield football game.
That is awesome.
And that's a true story. That happened.
Yeah, and you was a star basketball player up at Wartburg.
I was a basketball player.
Went to Coalfield.
Yeah, she was a cheerleader. Yeah, and yeah, we had a moment during a Coalfield football game, Coalfield Wartburg football game, in fact, and we ended up dating and getting engaged and getting married. So Kelly Potter, a Coalfield alum, class of 06. And just a wonderful scene here. Yeah, Coalfield does it up right. And one more thing I want to say. Tonight was senior night as well. So we saw that last week. So it wasn't just Rockwood that's doing that. They're getting senior night out of the way quickly just in case we're going to have a break in the season. So... still got a little bit of time left at halftime. We'll talk a little bit more about this, and we'll try to get you some scores of interest as well. You are tuned in to your OEB Law Game of the Week.
It's Caden Dupree.
Football is back. OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
Don't dig blind. Buried utilities are everywhere. Always contact 811 before you dig to have your utilities marked.
Is Caden Dupree.
Nothing.
And welcome back to your OEB Law Game of the Week. It is halftime here at Rochelle Field in Coalfield, where the Yellow Jackets lead it over Harriman by a score of 20-14. We do have some scores of interest for you, as at halftime, Midway leads over Oakdale 19-14. So Oakdale, their first 2 victories, doesn't seem like it's just for show. Hanging right in there with the Green Wave.
Yeah, when Midway held Rockwood, 1 point, Rockwood pulled away.
In overtime.
On
a 2-point conversion.
And Rockwood just absolutely destroyed Oliver Springs. So that tells you that Oakdale is a little more real than what people want to believe. And that is awesome. You're talking about a squad that routinely fields about 12 to 18 players. And J.R. Voice has done a great job up there for the last, I don't know, seems like 10 years. And he's won a lot of ball games up there with Oakdale Eagles.
I cannot say enough about Coach Boyles. That guy knows his football in and out. He cares about that program and the community, and doing some really, really nice things with the Oakdale Eagle football program. At the half, also, it's Oneida leading over Wartburg 35-0. So Coach Kevin Human's team looking to bounce back. Not going too well in Indian country. Some other scores of interest. Anderson County at the half is up on Hickson 36-0. Bradley Central up on Heritage 28-7 at the half. Sweetwater up on McMinn Central 13-0 at the half.
Now that's surprising to me. That tells me Sweetwater is a lot better than people initially thought. And that's why Rockwood might have not looked as good versus Sweetwater. They're a little bit better than what I had originally thought.
Wildcats of Oak Ridge leading Campbell County at the half 35-0. Meigs County up on Cumberland Gap 40-0. That one is in the third quarter. South Doyle up on Gibbs 24-7. Marion County up on Polk County 28-0. Here's a surprising score. Halls, the Red Devils at halftime leading the Dragons of Clinton 13-7. That's a one-score ball game at the half. And you're looking at Clinton with a brand new coach able to hang in there with Halls. That's pretty good.
Well, Clinton has turned a corner. I think they have just finally decided to really invest in their football program and try to restore some of that tradition. It's been a rough few years over at Clinton. And they've actually been trying to break ground on an indoor facility at Clinton, which is astonishing. So they're trying to bounce back, and it looks like they're hanging in there tight.
In a North Knoxville battle, Powell leads over Fulton 15-0. That score is the latest we have coming in the first quarter, so still early in that one. Central leading over Sevier County 21-7. Dobbins Bennett leading over Bearden right now 26-0. Science Hill up at the half over Hardin Valley 27-14. Loudon up on Brainerd 14-12 at the half. Loudon, that's a solid football program.
Yeah, Loudon is one of the traditional, powerhouses in East Tennessee. They've won several state championships over there and had several D1 athletes come out of Loudon County High School, and several went on to play in the league. So Jeff Harg has done a great job. When he's came back, he left West or Central 1 and came back to Loudon and picked up right where he left off.
Now, here's a score I'm excited to announce, and then we'll talk about this second half coming up in our game tonight. But it's Kingston leading over Austin East at the half, 21-14.
Yeah, that's major. That tells me that Kingston's done a lot of work in the last few weeks to prepare for this Austin East bunch, because Austin East is packing a lot of talent year in, year out, especially now. The new coach that Austin East has done a really good job of teaching fundamental football at Austin East. So I'm really impressed with Kingston holding that lead right now.
All right, getting ready to start this second half in your OEB Law Game of the Week. OEB is a terrific team of lawyers, paralegals, legal assistants, and support staff that knows the effect a car wreck or injury can have on a person. Their team works extremely hard to help resolve the claims so that they can move forward from a tragic incident and focus on rebuilding and recovering their life with a full and fair compensation, whether it's through a settlement or a lawsuit. That's OEB Law. Go to reckontoacheck.com for more information or call 865-546-1111. As we get set for this Davis Funeral Home kickoff, and of course Davis Funeral Home with 2 locations in Harriman and in Wartburg, call Rob or Preston Davis at 865-882-2000 or 423-346-2211 and let them take care of you in your time of need. Go to davisfuneralhomes.com for more information. So Hayden Hicks kicks it off. It's taken by Thomas Brown inside the 10. Brown finds a hole straight up the middle. Huge running room. Gets across the 35 down to close to the 38. And we've got some extracurricular activities between a couple players. And so it'll be tough to say what's going to happen here. But if Harriman doesn't move backwards, they've got pretty good starting field position.
Yeah, and that's something that they're not used to from the first half, so that's a big benefit for the Harriman play caller. Let's see what the referee's seen here. I didn't see anything extravagant.
I did see 2 players going at each other. I didn't see who initiated it or who did something when an official saw it. So, and a lot of times it's that second guy that gets seen. I don't want to say that's the case here. Just want to make a general observation.
Looks like they're going to call something.
Personal foul. Face mask.
Big play.
On Coalfield. Okay, so that's a 15-yard penalty. So instead of starting at the 38-yard line, Harriman will start at the 47 of Coalfield. So already across midfield to start with a Hammers 1st and 10 for Travis Tapp's team. So Harriman with a 6-point hole to fill.
1st and 10 Blue Devils. Ball on the Coalfield 47.
Sends 2 wideouts to the left. Man in the backfield gets the handoff. That's Stokes. Finds running room up the right sideline and pushed out of bounds at around the 38.
Nasir Stokes, the ball carrier.
And that's Nasir Stokes. They're going to give him the 39, which is just shy of a first down. Will bring up 2nd and short. We see on the Chuck Fleischman replay, Stokes got that handoff to the left side of Boyd and then shifted to the right and found room on the sideline.
Ball on the 39.
Pistol set. 2 wide receivers either side. Boyd looking, throwing all the way. Finds his man, and a pretty good gain, still on his feet. And for Harriman, that's Camion Campbell.
Good toss and catch. Simple and sweet. Try to get your quarterback a little comfortable. Easy route.
And on this Chuck Fleischman replay, you see Campbell just taking that short pass, almost a horse collar. And I think that's why that young man did not make that tackle. I think he was too afraid of pulling down on that horse collar and getting 15 yards tacked onto it. Handoff, man in the backfield. I believe that's Stokes, and Stokes is going to fall down.
Harriman's having a really hard time of running outside the tackle. The big offensive linemen, they're kind of being over-pursued by the defensive line and linebackers at Coalfield. They're closing the edge really fast.
Lost about half a yard on that Hammers first and 10. We'll bring up second and long. Ball is spotted at the 27-yard line of Coalfield.
Keep an eye on your tight end here. Well, he's actually split out. Number 6.
And this is the first time we've seen Harriman use this formation. So coming out something completely different. And here's Boyd.
Good catch.
And that pass is caught. And that time it's Clark. And you said keep an eye out for his tight end. That's his tight end.
Oh, he was standing wide open. He did a really good job of tightening his elbows to get his arms and hands underneath the ball on the ground. So it's a good job securing the catch by the wide receiver.
We're going to give him 5.5 yards, which will bring up third and 5 for the Blue Devils, between 5 and 6 yards. So Harriman threatening. And that's that same formation. Boyd's in a pistol, 2 wideouts either side, looking left all the way, lets it fly. He's got a corner route there, and that ball's picked off. Going back the other direction for Coalfield is Nitschke. Nitschke crosses the 20 and is down, and Harriman dodges a bullet, and now we've got flags going everywhere. We'll have some personal fouls. Let's look at this replay really quick. That ball was played very well by Nitschke.
Great play by Nitschke, but it was just a bad look down, stare down by the quarterback. He made the defensive back's job easy. He stared down his wide receiver the whole time, which gave Nitschke plenty of time to react to the ball.
And Thomas Brown trying to plead his case to the official, which leads me to believe this one is going against Harriman. So not only if you're Harriman do you turn the ball over, no. That is a crackback block on Coalfield. And some Coalfield fans here, they're not too happy with that one.
Penalized 10 yards.
Yeah, you have a little showboating going on the field right now for Harriman. They're having a good time.
That, though, that's a huge play because Coalfield was going to have a Hammers first and 10 around the 20. You have a penalty half the distance to the goal, and they're backed up to around their 10-yard line. I couldn't see it on that replay. On the first play of the drive for Coalfield. Looked like Hines on a keeper.
Hines keeps.
Pretty big pickup.
Yeah, good 5 yards. Which will bring up second and 5. 9:36 left to go in this third quarter.
Starting to see some hands on the hips of the big defensive lineman for Harriman.
And now Coalfield coming out with a new set too. And here's Hines. Pass complete to Landon Lau, and Lau trips up. Gets out to about the 22-yard line. Will be enough to move the sticks.
Stopped by Thomas Brown.
Lau had some cramps in that first half, and it looks like he walks a little gingerly.
He does, but he did a really good job there of being the lead blocker on that play. So he's battling through it, and like everybody here tonight, you got to battle through some adversities.
Might be something to keep an eye on.
Harriman staying in the man coverage.
Hines, shotgun formation. Quick out to Seth Lau. Lau. And gets by the first wall of defenders and gets up to close to the 35-yard line. And again, that will move the sticks and bring up a Hammers first and 10. To see on that Chuck Fleischman replay. Lau is big, he's strong, but he's also quick.
He is very quick. He's a very good running back for Class A football and just overall a really good football player.
So 2 wideouts either side. Hines fakes it and then looks downfield And that's going to draw a flag.
Mullins and complete. Penalty markers on the play.
Ooh, I didn't see much there. Let's look at this Chuck Fleischman replay. No. Regardless, that's a pass interference on Harriman, and that's a 15-yard penalty, which will spot the ball at the 50.
As a defensive coach, that aches my heart a little bit because that's really good coverage by the cornerback, and he'll see that on the game film.
So here's Coalfield with the Hammers 1st and 10 at midfield. Hines from that quarterback position is going to tuck it and go over the left side and brought down after a pickup of 4. We've got a couple flags in the backfield.
Harriman defender slightly grabbed the face mask.
Penalty markers on the play.
So Stubbs gets credit for the tackle, and then penalty assessed at the end of that run of 5 yards will be enough to make this a 2nd and 1. As you see the Chuck Fleischman replay, Chuck Fleischman has been our congressman since 2010, serving Anderson, Roane, and Morgan counties. Ball spotted at the Harriman 41-yard line. 2nd and 1. Hines drops back to pass, has all day to throw. Now rolling to his left, we've got more flags, and Hines in deep trouble, brought down after a loss of 10.
Hines, sack.
If this flag is for holding, if it's against Coalfield, you know Harriman is going to decline that, and you go from a 2nd and 1 to a 3rd and 11. And that's what it is. It's a hold.
That's a coverage sack. That's what we call a coverage sack. They went man coverage, and they were all over the wide receivers. And he had plenty of time, but, hey, whenever your wide receivers are all covered, you can't do nothing. You just got to try to make time.
Holding penalty is declined.
Gave time for Harriman to get after him.
And Hines has got to recognize that as well. He's got to get outside that tackle box and get rid of that one.
He does. He's trying to make a play.
So 3rd and 13 off of the 2nd and 1.
Coalfield 47.
Trips to the bottom side.
Hines takes the snap, looking left, has a man there. It's Landon Lau, overthrows his target, but Pelfrey was there defending for Harriman anyway, and brings up 4th and 13. So at the moment, it looks like Harriman has stopped this Coalfield drive.
So far tonight, Coalfield has had all good snaps and pretty good punts so far as well. So let's see if Harriman tries to get some pressure here, or if they just feel comfortable possessing the football wherever number 6 catches.
And that's Thomas Brown back deep to receive this punt. Landon Lau, high snap, almost goes over his head, able to barely get rid of this one. And that ball will roll dead at the 26-yard line. Now, why that's dangerous is if that ball hits a Harriman player trying to go back and block for Brown, that's a live ball.
At the Harriman 27, the Blue Devils will take over.
And that almost happened. So Harriman takes over at the 27-yard line with a Hammers 1st and 10. So let's watch this replay. That snap was long. And Cam Clark was there, able to get out of the way. But also, if that hits a Coalfield player, then the ball is blown dead right where it hits the Coalfield defender and gives extra yard. Here's Brown on a jet sweep, and Brown, nothing there.
Yeah, Harriman's had a hard time running that off tackle all night long. They have not went away from it. They are sticking with it, hoping that it pays off soon. But the Harriman offensive line has got to do a better job of sealing the edge.
And if you're Coalfield, as Brown able to pick up one on the play. I mean, if you're Coalfield, Coach Keith Henry, one thing he's always going to pride himself on is his big linemen. They are grain-fed linemen.
Yeah, they've always believed in power, hard-nosed football down here in Coalfield.
Second and 9, Blue Devils. Ball on the
They
28.
continue that.
So pistol set for Brown.